What? What? Oh my God. Welcome to episode 133 of Brise Tale. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir, and this is Karandrin Role Playing. And as I said, episode 133 of Brise's Tale. We just keep marching on despite the earlier problems, weather, health, you know. As always, my buddy Max up there. He's right up there.
Kevin, I think your audio is messed up again. I'm sorry. I was trying to listen in.
No, don't mess up.
It sounded definitely a little crunchy.
All right, I'm going to switch to a different audio thing.
Yeah, it is a little crunchy. It was working just fine, and then we started the stream. I can't believe this.
Let's do that one. All right, tell me if that's any better. I'm sorry, guys. Is that any better? Okay, I switched to the webcam's audio, and okay. We'll just
hopefully your mic is okay. I'm concerned for it.
Yeah, we might have to consider that.
We'll play back the video afterwards. I'll show you what it sounds like. And then,
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we can do that after.
For now, episode 133 of Karandrin.
Episode 133. Max, say hello to the gorgeous people who love us.
Everybody. Sorry, I haven't even said hi to everybody yet. How are you all doing? Great. Oh, I'm sorry.
We hop over to, you know what? I should hop over to the text and put our basic little caption up. Yeah, everybody. So we're up here 133. We're dealing here this episode about what to do about a particular necromancer named Shelbrick. And there's a meeting that's going to go on in the evening of this day in game. Various individuals who are concerned about Shelbrick's rise to power. He has made a deal with the Philistine, who are an undead race, or now undead race, up in an area called the Vetch. It's north of this major city called Convergence. And there's considerable concern because the Philistine number in the thousands. We're guessing. We're hoping in the low thousands. We don't really know. But they have risen to undead over millennia. They were wiped out about 5,000 years ago by a mannish race that was dominant in this area. And they have now made a deal of sorts with this necromancer, Shelbrick. So why don't you fill us in a little more on the immediate situation, Max?
Yeah. So I was going to teleport to an estate belonging to the Lady Kieran, where we're going to have a meeting later tonight to have this very discussion about what to do about Shelbrick. Unfortunately, while teleporting there, I kind of teleport was successful, but the location I teleported to was a little bit off, and I ended up smack in the valley occupied by the Philistine. And we ended last session with me noticing 3 undead walking in my general direction from a little ways away. So we're going to try to do a little teleport out of here, and hopefully it goes well and doesn't make too much noise.
Right. So we have I forget how far away they were. Like, I mean, it was some distance, like 100 yards or something. So
yeah.
So you've got a football field of length. You're on top of the hill overlooking some of the villages that were wiped out by the Philistine.
Right.
We have seen evidence, and now you have some approaching you, that the victims of that slaughter by the Philistine, those victims have now been risen as undead, and apparently now serve the Philistine in the form of patrols and so on, scouring for any survivors and trying to maintain this a level of control over a small area of the Western Veg.
Obi-Wan asks if Chubbuck was convicted on 34 felony counts. He was, and he's currently running for president, actually.
Yes. The Undead Orange, as we call him. The foliage that you find yourself in is very thick. You kneel down. You feel like you're very well hidden.
I'm sorry. I just realized if Trump was a necromancer, that would make perfect sense. Anti-vaccine.
That's true.
There's all the supporters. They're all coming from.
Although, some of his supporters believed what was it they believed? That the vaccine would plant a chip and literally make you zombies. And since they oppose that idea, maybe there's a disconnect between leader and followers there.
Maybe his propaganda is working the wrong way.
Exactly, which can be a surprise to no one. But the child. So that we know this is a. Oh goodness! One moment. Just one moment.
We're just a complete mess today.
We are. Sorry. I'm back. So, there's two human undead coming up the way. There's also a child undead, which is really just heartbreaking to see. Their head is wreathed in a dark vapor. Strikes you as very interesting, probably experience worthy in terms of your interest in creatures,
right?
And something you've not heard about anything like that, but you definitely want to ask about it. It's really piqued your interest. I rolled a 191 for that. So you feel like you're very well concealed, at least from the ground. They are generally heading in your direction. They don't seem to be speeding up. When you peek over, you don't feel like you've been noticed. What would you like to do?
I think we will try a teleport to Lady Kieran's estate.
Okay. Are you going to try you're going to concentrate for a long time?
We'll concentrate, yeah.
They won't be here. They're moving fairly slowly, and of course it's uphill and through rough. So they 100 yards, 20. Closing at about 20 feet around. So they'll be about a third of the way here if you're gauging their rate correctly.
Okay. Wait the full time, concentrate, and then.
All right. So do us a favor and roll above an 8.
Easy. 48.
Nice. And then roll to concentrate on your correct location.
19.
You are all over the damn place today.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I need another coffee. I can't concentrate.
Exactly. I had to take 4 caffeine pills today just to be functional. Which is it's only 2 cups of coffee. That's
okay.
The strength of the pills that I happen to find. You find yourself in Convergence. In the alley by is it the Immortal Candle that's in Convergence?
Yes. That's the Adventurers Guild.
Yes. Okay. That's the Adventurers Guild. You startle no one. They've arranged for some discretion for, teleports in and out.
Okay.
Well, is there anything you want to take care of while you're here?
I thought so. Actually, I do want to check the tax office, and that must have been what was on my mind. I do want to go to the tax office and check out for any records of. We'll check about the. Oh, I need to find the house first, I believe, or I want the address, and then I can tie that to a name.
Let's assume you have the address. I think you would have gotten it from because you would have wanted to revisit it at
Yeah,
some
he
point.
told me specifically a house in
Right. So I think think logically enough, you would have that. Oh, I don't need this anymore. What am I doing?
Mhm.
Swing that out. Swing this over.
6969 Karandrin Drive. Just where
68.
everyone lives.
You know the joke about 68, right? It's 68 is I'll do you, but I owe you one. Or you do me and I'll owe you one.
No, that's not. Do not remember that.
That's a
You
great
said something else about 69 plus 1 is 70. I don't remember. Or maybe someone else told me that.
It's a threesome, isn't it? It's a
Exactly.
70. Yeah, we'll subtract one next time. That's the joke for 70, right? It's all right. So the question is how to find the tax office, given that you have the address.
I'll ask someone of the Adventurers Guild. They might, or I'll ask.
Probably ask you. You want to ask a resident of the
Yeah,
city.
well, Telwick, right? He owns the guild,
Right.
the half ogre.
Walk in, busy. If that's of any interest. Wow, there's
Oh, he's half troll. Sorry.
Vel-
Sorry. Jeez. I said I
Veladam.
was sorry.
Veladam is there.
Belladam, yeah.
He's watching things very coolly from a corner, but there's somebody standing on a chair. And
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Adventurers Guild in Ballabry. I don't know who operates the Crystal Maze.
I have I had a name that I was looking up names.
I'm all mixed up. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Immortal Candle's a magic shop.
Crystal Maze
is the Adventuring Guild.
So you're at Crystal. So right, the Immortal Candle. Hang on. Sorry, gang.
Immortal Crystal Candle Maze. Crystal Maze. Let me see if I can find.
Yeah, Crystal. I've got the Crystal Maze right here. So we'll say that's where you are. All right, Crystal Maze is. What? Who is that? Oh, Krital is the bouncer there.
Okay.
The Crystal Maze. She is a thin human female. Wow, she's really thin. She's an 8. She has striking dark green eyes. And she, you walk in, show her your badge that allows entry. Ask about it. You might as well just ask her about the tax office.
Yeah.
She says, sort of no. It's not really my thing. It's toward the center of town. You probably would just do better headed to the center of town and asking.
Yeah. Okay. Easy enough.
Roll to navigate.
6.
You are thoroughly lost.
Wow, it's Lady Kieran's estate. Oh,
what am I doing here?
Oh my God.
As you, before you turn to go, there's adventurer standing on a chair, calling out in facts, selling magic items if you're interested.
I am always interested in buying magic items. If we don't mind taking a little pause and seeing what he has in store.
Yeah. He's got 3 items. I think we'll just make them Let's just roll M1, M1, M1. Let's just do that very quickly, and then we will proceed. Window, magic items. Is that right? Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong one. Wow, 421 class 1 magic items in my game. I'm pretty proud of that. So let's say 5 sets of 84. Let's do that. There we go. And now we just type it in. So you go up, he, she, it. Let's see. Male. Wait, is that it? Nope, this is it. Marching greaves. Metal leg greaves. That is unbelievable. Huh. The other. Is that right? I'm looking at shield greaves. They're metal arm greaves, and they can transform into normal shields. So long as your hands are empty. They then, of course, your arms are treated as though they don't have. Your arms will then be treated as though you don't have greaves, but it can be treated as though you have 1 or 2 shields.
Okay.
So you can either have no shields or double shields. You see?
Wait, no or double? Why
Yeah.
not 1 or double?
So nothing. You can have no shields.
Oh, you do this to form the shield?
Wait, hang on. Let me see you. Sorry, I'm over at the other thing. Do what?
How do you form the shield? You have to like
you get 2 shields.
Right. So why can't you just do 1 and then not?
Because they couldn't figure out a way for that to happen.
Oh, the magic. Okay, the magic item activates both shields on your.
Right.
So your hand has to be empty.
Yes.
Okay. Probably won't get that, but interesting.
So wow, it'd be really cool for martial artists. Oh, and for spellcasters.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I probably already thought of all of these ideas, which is why I suddenly seem shocked. Anyway, and lastly, that's so cool.
My past self.
All of these items are in the first. It's weird. All of them are, it's 5 sets of 85. That's how I'm rolling this up. And all of them have wound up in the first set. It's so weird. All right. And 79. Let's do this for once in my stupid life. Yeah, he's got all kind of stuff here. Oh, no, this is crazy interesting. A sorcerer's spear.
Ooh.
This is very interesting. This is an interesting choice for you. So it's only a plus 15 magic spear, but it's also acts as a class 1 staff for semi-spell users.
No way.
Which means, there's so much stuff that it would do then. It would increase your range of your spells once you really attune to it. It's going to take you a while to attune to it because there's so much to learning a staff.
Right.
But, so this one in particular, he tells you, so it has 10 points of spell store. This is what a class 1 staff does.
Okay.
It gives you 10 points of spell store. It increases your influence spells by +1. It increases your range by +10. It reduces your spell fumble by 5.
Wow.
And now you go, no wonder sorcerers and wizards use stabs and rods and wands. It makes magic so much more powerful and so much safer.
I see. I've been missing out.
It's only plus 15, but of course you could just keep it on your back and use it when you need to cast something.
Yeah, I mean, my spear is actually a plus 15 magic right now. So, okay, a couple questions. So, I need to cast through the staff, or do
Yeah.
I like hold? Okay,
You have to hold it's just a spear that is also acts like it's a class 1 staff, rod, or wand. So
right.
let me make sure I've got all the traits right. But I'll do that in a minute. You know what? I can do this though. Let me open all the traits on these bad boys. What is going on? Oh, this is what I should do. That's what I should do. Where is that stuff? Oh, Lord, here we go. There they are. So, oh yeah, plus 10 to all of your castings, all of them.
Wow.
Plus 10% range, plus 10% duration. 10 points. It can be either PowerPoint store or spell store. This one happens to be spell store.
Right.
Um,
Which means I can store up to a level 10 spell in there.
right. So
Nice. The first item, the metal leg greaves, do those have any properties?
the marching greaves,
Yeah.
unburden 25 pounds.
Okay.
Of course, they're metal leg greaves, which means they can protect against very serious criticals.
Mm-hmm.
Let me hop back to that. What? That was weird.
What am I wearing in terms of leg armor?
So they're plus 15 magic, metal, in this case, metal leg greaves.
Okay.
And they increase the carrying weight by 25 pounds.
Decrease the carrying.
They increase.
Oh, increase my carrying capacity. Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I'm wearing any leg greaves. Okay. I mean, no, I'm not big on armor. Is there like a penalty, like to wearing greaves, to spell casting and movement?
Not well. It's metal. That's always of concern. So that will increase the severity of criticals you take when you attempt to cast. If you fumble. So it's kind of
the spear that reduces fumble.
Exactly. Oh, I just opened OneNote. Why did I do that? I hit the wrong button.
OneNote, 2Note, 3Note.
Right.
It's okay. So how much for the greaves, the marching greaves, and the sorcerer's spear?
He's asking straight up 1,000 gold. Do you want to try to haggle him down?
Absolutely.
All right. Let me see what your trading skill is, y'all. Hello. Where are you? Oh, there you are. All right. Roll for me.
Boom. 45.
There we go. Right there. Purchase. He'll go down to 900 gold.
That's a whole mithril. Yeah, sure.
So nine mithril.
All right. Yeah. Hand him 9 mithril. That is a lot of money, but these are some awesome items.
All right. I will put you down for both of those, which is to say, just click your name on them. It's a very clever idea of mine, if I do say so myself.
Oh.
So marching greaves and sorcerer's spear.
Yeah.
Sorcerer's spear is plus 15 magic. Your marching greaves, make sure you list that they're metal, because that dramatically increases the
fumble penalty.
The fumble and the protection, though. I mean, they dramatically. A
Right.
leather leg greave can stop a C critical. Metal ones can stop everything else.
Wow. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Can I have carry 2 spears at my back?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll have both the Spear of the North and my Sorcerer's Spear back there.
Yeah. It sounds like you'd probably throw the Spear of the North.
Right.
It
only goes north, though.
That is hilarious. But
It always goes in a straight line north. That's really
what if when you throw it north, it has greater range?
Oh, okay. I like that.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Like have like double range. You're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's very particular. All right. Well, crazy. So you buy those, and then you slip off to the tax office. You get lost.
Stomping around with my metal greaves.
Yeah. Do you want to have those on? I don't think you want to have those on. You probably have to hide all your. Sorry, you got to hide all your weapons anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Slip them in my bag of holding.
Yeah.
I didn't even think I teleported into Convergence fully equipped. I should.
Yes.
Strip down and
appear to be quite harmless.
Appear to be a law-abiding denizen.
Exactly. I gotta go back to the chat.
Obi-Wan asks, "Do you remember the most she ever spent on a magic item?"
Oh, geez. I'm feeling like it was something like Karen. I'm thinking it was something like 20-something mithril. That's like 23 comes to mind, but I can't tell you which one that was.
Maybe it wasn't monetary. Maybe you paid with your life.
She's done her best at that. Although that was really the worst exchange she did there was marriage. Yeah, you followed this major road thinking surely that would take me down to the center of town. But it must have curved, and you wind up in a region you don't understand, don't recall. It is a nicer area of town. A lot of high-end wow. A lot of high-end shops and things like this. Very fine inns, jewelers, very high expense sort of places.
Right.
There are jewelers and that sort of thing. I don't know if you have gems that you want to get rid of, but this would be an area of town to do that in.
Yeah, not at the moment.
Okay.
We'll just find a passerby and ask her about the tax office then.
People are giving you serious looks up and down whenever you approach them. They quickly turn away from you. You're like, I am not dressed for this part of town. You follow, like you sort of watch one person, who just deliberately doesn't make eye contact and walks away. You sort of follow them with your eyes, and they immediately go to a constable.
Oh my goodness.
And you're like, I see how this is going to be. I have probably been guilty of doing the same thing, and being escorted out of the area of town. It is important to remember that rights, as we understand them, don't really exist unless you're wealthy.
Well, I am wealthy, and I'm still being discriminated.
I know, right?
I'm a lot less wealthier than I was 5 minutes ago.
So, what would you like to do?
I will try to make my way out of this part of town, slip into an alleyway, and kind of, just go until I reach a more maybe middle income area. People are less
particular.
Yeah. Less unwilling to talk to someone dressed in adventurer's clothes.
Roll for me.
74.
You hear signs of pursuit. You hear someone call a couple of times. Show yourself. Definitely a mannish voice. Definitely the voice of that constable, if you had to guess. They're on the next street, calling down the alley you went down. They must not have seen you, otherwise, they would just be on your tail.
Right.
What would you like to do?
So it sounds like they're calling down from behind me. If I keep going, I won't run into them.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll keep on quietly. Make any noise.
Man, this dude will not give up. You go 4 more blocks. Footsteps are still behind you. You've sort of done some dog legs down some alleys, trying to shake him. He's still within a block, a couple of buildings of you.
Wow.
You're not going to lose me, he's yelling. Make yourself known. Let's talk this out.
All right. Well,
you could lay in wait and just put him to sleep. I mean,
or I could
kill him. All right, you do so.
Use my charm and just try to get him to lead me to the tax office. So I'll make myself.
You just want to peek and get line of sight. You don't want to. Yeah. So you peek out. Wow, he's looking right your way, but he's not seeing you. It is dim back here, but he's in better lighting than you are. Roll it up.
Boom. That's a 4.
That's a fumble.
Okay. I was saying charm as in like actual like use my charms, but you're right.
Problem.
No.
Let's back up because we have several problems that I caused. So let's back up. You peek around, there he is.
Yes.
Now, first of all, if you're going to cast a spell, I need to know how many power points you're going to put in the spell.
Right.
To influence him. But you can, and we'll ignore that 4. How many do you want to use a spell?
No, I started rolling, and you were before I realized what you meant. I just want to talk to him. And
no problem.
Persuade him that this was all a misunderstanding.
Okay, so you see him, you step out. What would you like to say?
I'll call after him and say, "Oh, there you are." I was trying to.
Way to go, Obi-Wan.
Hello, good sir.
He approaches. He has a club in hand, which is not to be unexpected. Which is not unexpected. He approaches somewhat cautiously. As he gets closer, his guard just drops. He's like, "Oh, someone was concerned that maybe you were bothering people that."
Hey, I'm just looking to get to the tax office. I got lost and someone gave me some bad directions.
Well, you can't. A young lady such as yourself can't be walking around these alleys. That's no place for a young lady. Cut through here, gives you directions. Tax office is a black stone building. Except for the bottom layer, the foundations are gray. Tells you it's right past the Temple of Valbrum, which is the goddess of healing. Represented as a goblin. She says you're going to have to push through the lines there.
So yeah, fever has been only getting worse.
Half of my crew is out with it. Take care of yourself. Turns and walks off.
Okay. Easy.
And then you
Now I charm him.
That's right.
And then roll a fumble. He's like, what was that?
You just collect constables' clubs. You just,
That's my God. And uniforms.
Did you see Obi-Wan's comment?
About the
bird
bird. Yes. If only.
So down you go. Roll to navigate.
Okay.
Nice big bonus.
31.
That's all right. With an additional bonus, that's pretty sufficient. It's now late afternoon. There's the temple. It is piled up. You're going to have to push past tons of people.
Sick people. I cast levitate.
Everything's fine. You're just hallucinating. You're just hallucinating.
Just the fever. No,
push through.
Lightly, push through.
There's the tax office. In you go. I hope you have enough money to bribe somebody.
I do. I've got 10 gold coins in my pocket, ready to go.
Moderately busy. Wait for just a few minutes, though. You're waved forward. They say, what property are you paying for?
I am not paying for a property. I'm wondering if I could get some information about a certain residence at a certain address.
My lady, we don't give out such information.
I will put the 10 gold and just have my hand on it and saying, surely you could help someone in need. This is for very important business.
He looks you over. He puts his hand over the coins. Of course, exceptions can be made in these trying times.
Oh my gosh, dude. Got all of Convergence in my pocket. Got the constable, the temple guard, this guy.
I rolled for his willingness to accept a bribe. It was through the fucking roof. It was so high, dude.
He's just like, we can't give out information.
Exactly. Like, you have a piggy bank on the damn counter.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Just a little like tip jar, but it says bribes on it.
Yeah, right. I mean, you call it a bribe trough? That's just rude. I mean,
a bribe barrel.
So yes, I'm happy to look up your property for you. I understand that you've not been here for a while and you know it's the particulars of it.
That's right.
That wink is really great. You need to do that every stream. All right, so lean into the camera and do it. That's fantastic. I am in no way going to make that a thumbnail for every episode. Anyway, no way I'm going to do that. All right. So you go to, so you give the address.
Yeah. Shelbriggs.
He leans in and goes, is there any particular information you want?
I tell them
why don't you just ask for everything? You don't know what.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And I also add if there's, I expect there's a man named Chelbrick who might live there, but if not, if you have information on him as well, he has a residence in the city.
Oh, I've never heard that name. And you go, oh, he is in Shelbrick's pocket.
Oh, my God.
Which means...
I'm probably not going to get any info.
Right, except you just did.
Right, that I know he doesn't want people knowing that address.
And he immediately hands the address back to you.
Hmm.
And he says, he leans in and he says, "My lady, you cannot be asking for that name. Whoever sent you, forget this address and tell them to do the same."
I say, am I in immediate danger, is what you're saying?
I don't think so,
Okay.
but too many inquiries and I can't promise anything.
Okay.
This family is quite powerful.
Family. Okay. I ask, who can you? I guess I don't ask for too much information, right? I just ask, do you know if his other family members are living in Convergence?
My lady, you press your luck.
It's gotten me this far.
Oh, yeah, that's the way to do it. I just want to go one more. I just want to take one more
Just
step, Kevin.
one more step.
Here we go. Back to the old. You've gained 10 levels, yet 0 knowledge. It's amazing.
Oh.
They're major operators in timber here. Everything they goes, everything, all their timber goes down to the ports. Shipbuilding is what I hear, and they protect their business ruthlessly. Now, why should they protect the residents? I don't know, but please, my lady, whatever business interests you represent, it's not fair for them to use a young lady as a pawn in this. Step clear of this business.
I say, I'll watch where I go. Thank you for the warning.
I'm muffled, huh? Dadgummit.
You don't sound muffled to me. It's a different mic, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, it is a different mic. It's directly in
The
front
other
of me.
the other one, it's either a little muffled or very crackly. So
Yeah, those are our choices, although I don't guess those are much choices. And I can't bring that one closer. I don't know where the mic is on the laptop itself to know if that's a better choice. I don't know if I have a means of plugging in my lavalier mic. But
we could maybe do it during the break if you want.
I'll do that during the break, which we're close to anyway. What would you like to do?
Okay. Wait, sorry, I forgot to note this down. So
Sure.
right here.
You've got the damn address stuck in my head, by the way, as 6969. I'll have you know, like every time I think about it, I'm like 69. I mean, no, that's just what he was his joke, Kevin. Oh my God. Obi-Wan, I don't know why I love it when you call me CP. Isn't that stupid? We should get married. I'm kidding. That would be a ridiculous idea.
Speak of jailbreak. Okay. So, do I do more research on my own, or do I report my findings, what I found so far, to the meeting tonight?
Well, all right. So, more research. You can at least find someone. I'm trying to think who you would go to. You would have to know like somebody else. Obi-Wan, it was good knowing you. So it's
banned.
Certainly other people involved in timber and lumber in this area would know.
Yeah.
Who their big competition is and who's providing.
Yeah. I'm thinking of, I'll just scope out the address, maybe find a spot I can teleport to discreetly if I need to come back for reconnaissance, or take anyone here for.
Roll for me.
Since 14.
Okay.
I mean, he might be aware of that and have like wards around his house. And
that's exactly what I had you roll for.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you thought of it because your character certainly didn't, but I count it as the same in this instance. So yeah, so you can't casually do this kind of thing with this level of power, right?
Yeah.
So you need to pick a spot much further away, and you need to be very discreet. I mean, you can't be close into that residence.
We'll do how about this? We'll do a potion of face change, and then we'll you know, scope out the residence very briefly, and then a couple blocks away, memorize the spot I could teleport.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember even with Anleb's house, the supposed leader of this cult of the Iron Empress, even her guards, saw me, and I was being very discreet. So that was just a minor cult, not a minor cult, but a smaller cult,
No, I mean, I think you're right to phrase it as a minor cult, and that they didn't have vast resources, they didn't have hundreds of members, but these people who are serious about their privacy, they'll use lots of resources to maintain it, and so when you've got to just keep that in mind when you're up against that level of individual, right? Because they're trying to protect themselves. I mean, you think about Chelbrick, he's trying to protect himself against somebody like Fraudrum.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. And Fraudrum, for our viewers,
way above my level, of expertise.
Yeah, I mean, who has lots of arts and lots of tricks and so on. And so you've got to be, well, you can't be powerful necessarily. You've at least got to be smart. And so yeah.
More than a 14 smart.
Right. All right, so roll the navigate to the residence.
Yeah.
It's probably going to take
close. I'll take a potion of face change. I believe it's a few minutes, right? 82.
82.
Did he take my gold, by the way?
He did.
Bastard.
He is really willing to take. I mean, he was so high. It's like 190 or something. He was so happy to take bribes. I didn't take this thing for the pay. I took it for the pay.
Real.
So you make it there. It is pushing sundown, but it was quite a walk. It is a nicer area of town. Not as nice as you expected, though. You're at the far end of his block. You can see the property from here. There is an additional empty home. It is it's not boarded up or anything, but it's probably just being maintained by a couple of staff. There's all the curtains are drawn. This is the abandoned, the sort of the other property. That's probably the safest one to go to. All of these are mid-level estates, and so they'll have some level of garden and some level of property associated with them. Garden walls and that sort of thing, hopefully to provide you some cover. No real sign of constables.
So I'll take the face change potion now.
Okay.
Yeah. My last face
change.
And
you're going to change to you typically change to your good friend back home, right? That's who.
Yeah. Let me change to another race would probably be good. So no chance of being mistaken.
Sort of look around.
Yeah.
See if you can find someone. Sure enough, someone about your height.
Just ruin their day, change into them and come up to them and be like, hi. Jesus, what?
That's Brise the Mind Breaker.
Us.
Elven woman, obviously somewhat shorter than average, otherwise she'd be too tall for you to duplicate or usefully. Drink the potion. Feel your face change. You're like, face and hair change very much to her appearance.
Mm.
She is considerably older than you. Get a little bit of gray in your hair and so on, but you definitely don't look the same. I guess take down your hood, huh?
Yeah, no, I want to be visible.
Noted as different.
Mm-hmm.
Pass by. May at least make it to the abandoned home,
Mm-hmm.
or the sort of the being marginally maintained home. Stop to brush off the hem of your pants and look down the alley. Sort of get a good spot on it.
Mm-hmm.
When you're content, you've memorized it. What would you like to do? Just keep on walking?
Yeah.
And then come to the end of the block. And then what we could do is have you teleport then to Lady Kieran's, and then we can take a break.
Yeah.
All right. Similarly, this house we believe is Chelbrick's. It is. There's no lights are on in the house. No smoke from the chimney. All the curtains are drawn. There is a single guard. No slouch. You just get a feeling of professionalism, and readiness and vigilance. They're watching. Apparently, you're a known element. They nod at you. You nod back. Didn't sort of process the fact that he might have seen you or she might have seen you earlier.
Yeah.
You walk, turn the corner. The building is 2-story. You think you see at least the roofs of 2 carriage houses in the back of the property. You know that they pulled through a courtyard in the back to drop off goods, the alley there. And looking at it, it looks like if they pulled through, the location of those roofs, if those are carriage houses, suggests that there would have to be a carriage gate back that way to lead to the house, to lead to the carriage houses to park carriages. There are trees in the garden. They are very well maintained. So your guess is there is a staff who comes regularly, or there's a gardener at least probably on the grounds.
Right.
Hard to know which. There might be a house also, a small cottage for him.
Okay.
Turn down, slip into an alleyway. You feel that went as well as it could. Mentally cancel the potion, and you are ready to teleport.
Okay. So I memorized a spot at the alley next to the abandoned house.
Yes.
Okay, I'll note that down.
And that is 4 houses down from what we believe to be Chelbrick's Convergence residence.
Alley. Okay. Teleport to Lady Kieran's.
Take your full concentration.
84.
84, no problem there. That's 9 exhaustion, and I don't know if you use power or if you use your...
Oh, I'm using PowerPoints.
Okay, 9 power, 9 exhaustion.
66 to aim.
66 to aim. Boom.
66.
You're here in the courtyard behind some trees. Your typical sort of, hey, don't startle the staff kind of location. Iron sits in the courtyard smoking a pipe. He's just thinking of the world. You emerge out of the trees, out of the courtyard's trees. He lifts ahead to you, um, and then we'll stop right there for a moment. And then, guys, we're going to quickly stretch our legs and refill our drinks. So, not minors. It was not good knowing you, Obi-Wan tells me.
Isn't
Well,
that such a mean thing to say to someone? It
man,
wasn't good knowing you.
the only last person who told me that, Obi-Wan, was my parents. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so all right, gang, we'll be right back with you. So just give us a few minutes to refill our drinks and so on. As I said, let me get rid of this caption. Kind of wish the caption you had active would always go to the top or something. That would be helpful. So we'll be right back with you after a few minutes. Thanks for watching thus far, and we'll see you in just a few. Hey, everybody, welcome back. We're going to
I like how you could see me before.
yes, that's hilarious. So this is my lavalier mic. And so if I, CP,
Way better.
is it way better?
I don't know what Obi-Wan thinks, but
Yeah, Obi-Wan let us know. So this is my, one day I want to get a really high-end one of these. This is not very expensive. This is like a $20 one. And so I should hop over to the thing. So we're back from break. Just let me remind you, we're sort of researching Chelbrick, who's been causing trouble in the Vetch, this hilly area north of the city of Convergence. Go back to the chat. Oh, why does it do that? You sort of scouted out a place that we believe to be his sort of in-town residence, or at least one of his in-town residences. I guess I should have brought up to you or reminded you, you could have pushed that guy as hard as you wanted to. Like you could have said, here's 100 gold. What can you tell me?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. I didn't mean to shortchange you there.
Right.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I got the impression like it was busy and like people were in line.
Well, who cares? You've got more important shit to do than worry about their schedule. So Iron is waiting for you. Iron, for anybody who's forgotten, Iron is this right-hand man of Prethnot. They had some dealings with Chelbrick in the past. Chelbrick was an apprentice himself to Prethnot for a while, and then went on about his own business. But Iron, this right-hand man, is not pleased with Chelbrick because apparently there was some sort of romantic entanglement, maybe with Iron's sister, and Chelbrick slighted her in some way, and Iron is not pleased. So Iron has signed on to help. Prethnot has been very clear that she does not want to be involved, and Iron has come to sort of say everything he can about Chelbrick and help Brise and her allies deal with this growing threat that is Chelbrick. So one of those people is one of the Brise's allies is Fraldrum. Obviously Iron has been there for a bit. He's got a beverage down at his feet. There's a half-eaten apple in his lap. So he just nods to you. He says, no one else has arrived. I've been told that we're awaiting 2 others, Fraldrum and some bird-like creature.
Her apprentice, Doshrik.
Well, I've seen stranger things working with Prethnot. Anything you want to accomplish in the time you have alone with Iron?
I do. I would like to ask him if he knows about Prethnot's. I ask a favor from Prethnot to gather information on Volshad and what's been going on in the valley near Miagral's Keep, near Balabry, really.
How long have they had to accomplish that?
That's a good question. I want to say like 4 days. Let me scroll back up. It was when I was attacked by the bear.
Right.
So I just got to search backwards for bear. On June 21st. What's today? The 24th?
Okay.
Today's the 26th. Yes, it's been 5 days.
She has quite a report for you. Do you
Okay.
think we have time?
Well, we can start, and we'll see.
Prethnot sources report that there is a considerable necromantic influence all over that valley.
Okay.
She asked me pointedly if I thought this was the work of Chelbrick. I said I did not know. I did tell her or remind her that we are concerned about activity in the Vetch being that of Chelbrick, which seemed to make more sense to her given its nearness to convergence. She says, like the rest of us, she believes that it doesn't make sense for Hestus, Lord Hestus of the Pin clans, to be involved with this necromancy in Nargaz because of his long-standing opposition to magic.
Right.
Nothing she knows would seem to undermine that.
Mm-hmm.
The she also noted that there was considerable eagle activity great eagle activity in that area. She's had little contact with any great eagles in that region. She can provide no help there.
Okay.
She can tell you that there is considerable teleport activity between that location in the valley north of Balabry .68 would put it.
You were going to say 68 teleports. I was like, what?
Oh man, it's that damn city she had to remind me of. That's fine. We'll just re-roll. Keep going. The dwarven city of Gorb, which seems, unless Hestus has agents there, seems to make it less likely that, yet less likely that Hestus is involved.
You said it's between the dwarven city of Gorb and that one village?
Yes.
Okay.
She used her considerable arts to trace the teleports. She was undetected, as one would expect from a master of travel, as is our mistress. And Gorb is definitively the location for the majority of the teleports.
Interesting.
That distance suggests either a magical item enhancing someone's power or a considerably powerful sorceress or sorcerer. She does warn you that her arts did reveal that the great creature, the Nowglyph, is still in that valley.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It has the ability to simply become shadow. You may pass through the creature without even knowing it, save for an unnatural chill that you may just discount as being a touch of cold.
Yeesh.
Huh. Roll for me.
69.
That's
99.
hilarious. Yeah. It is interesting to you that you've discovered 3 instances of undead giant in a region that also has a house of giants.
This is true.
Which might, should it become necessary, suggest to you a possible alliance. Hey, somebody keeps turning your giants into undead, slaying them and turning them to undead.
Right.
Now, whether you're the one to make that overture or not, that's a separate question. But it is interesting. Now, maybe it's completely unconnected. The undead can live for centuries. I mean, it and the giants, could be summoned from hundreds of miles.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of questions there. But something I keep forgetting to do is post. Oh Lord, why does this always do this to me? Let's see, paste. Let's see how that does. There we go.
Interesting.
Nope, that did not work. That's all right. Let's do that again. Boop. And then boop, boop. There we go. So I apologize. I keep meaning to post this more regularly. So this is, these are links to Max's actual character sheet and his notes and everything, as well as the artist who did the artwork you see right there, the ever-talented Elliot Dunovitz. And so I keep forgetting to post those so you guys could actually take a look at some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. And so I got to get better about that now that we've switched streaming services. I've fallen off of doing that, and I want to try to do that more regularly. So I
do want to interrupt him at this point, if that's all right, and tell him that the necromancer is one of great power. I believe their name is Holver, and they take the appearance of a human man with violet eyes. So not a... Well, I guess we haven't gotten his nationality, right? If he is Penn or not, but...
Right. Penn, just for anyone listening, is a desert nation to the east, across the mountains.
It's where Lord Hestus is from, the Penn clans. Yeah.
Right. Holver is not a name known to Iron. And although he'll mention it to Prethnot, Prethnot is not, she has emphasized, going to involve herself very deeply in this matter of Chelbrick until it endangers the city.
That's fair.
She has, however, given me leave, while keeping her name out of it, to warn adventurers of the danger of that region, and to seek information from any adventurers who are coming south through that region to get reports from them. Okay. That said, then, I will be keeping tabs as best I can I have already talked to Lady Kieran about leaving word here about anything I find. Doshrik appears from his customary location. I keep meaning to put
A bird cage.
a bird cage. That's it. Doshrik's a bird-like humanoid male, quite tall. Though he is actually of a race of a different world for anyone who's new. He often just goes by the cover story that he's just a tall human who a magical mishap changed his face. And he wears gloves to hide the bird-like featherage of his hand, and otherwise remains fairly covered. He enters the clearing.
Mm-hmm.
You make introductions. He turns to you. It says, Fraudrum, asking if
Nope.
he's here yet.
Not seen her. I've not heard a head nor tail feather. Sorry. Enough bird jokes.
Neither beak nor talon shows itself. Obi-Wan, you haven't commented on how the mic is doing, this mic.
Okay, one more bird joke. Open up my fine familiar's tome and I say, go fetch me glass of wine, Doshrik.
I think you're just being cheap.
Okay.
Doshrik says, I suggest we go and wait upon our master at the table.
All right.
And he strides forward. He covers ground quite quickly with his great stature. As he enters, Iron is slow to get up and says, interesting company.
And I say, he's a good soul.
He looks at you a long time, says, as are you. Strides inside. Lady Kieran has clearly been informed that company has arrived. She has staff behind her, just a couple. They ask, if you need anything. Close it off with my chin. I can drop it lower. I mean, when I could put it, if I can put it up here. Oh God, sorry. I'm just gonna put it up. I'm gonna go this side. That would be fun. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I dropped it. That's no good. This is real entertainment. No, wrong one.
Yeah, this is like, there's ASMR, right? And then this is the opposite, whatever you'd call that. Just like grating sounds and like dropping microphones.
That's right. How's that? It's kind of cool. It's kind of like the
yeah, he looks like a sports announcer.
Yeah, finally. That's the only thing I was going for. The only reason for this whole stream, all 133 episodes.
This is your interview to become a sports announcer.
So yeah, Obi-Wan, how was that? Am I too loud?
No, it's good on my end.
Okay, cool. Doshrik says, my lady, my master, my mistress will always want wine, as I'm sure you know. Everyone else, nods and off they go to get some. Wine and cheeses are brought, set on the table. Well, I'll put it further down. Obi-Wan does not care for it there. All right, on my glasses it goes. My forehead. All right, fine. I'll put it
Back of your
down.
head.
There we go. All right, so not too long, Fraldrum enters. Cleaner than usual. Fewer stains on her garments.
Fewer. That's nice.
Sits down. Immediately grabs a bottle, pours some wine. Says, bless this house. You make introductions. And Iron begins. And we'll stop using gazelles. I don't know about all that now. That's a reference to our dear departed brother Andrew, who would find the most complex way to do the simplest task. All right. So Chelbrick, Iron simply begins and says, just a sort of report on Chelbrick. I should pop over and just go and pop up that thing for Chelbrick.
All began when I was 17.
So he says, Chelbrick, originally from Morgrim, raised there.
Okay.
It's an elven port. It's the southernmost elven port. It's a major city. His family is quite wealthy, quite powerful there. Parents are both dead. Has 3 siblings. But he now runs a major shipping and shipbuilding operation out of Morgrim through various emissaries. In our time with him as an apprentice for Prethnot, he claimed multiple times to possess the ship of the void. We were never able to verify that. Roll for me.
7.
You've never heard of it.
I'm sorry. The ship of the one.
Fraldrum says quietly, it's a lie. We know who possesses the ship of the void, or the shield of the void, depending on what form it takes. She sees the look of confusion on your face. She says that the ship of the void is a very powerful, very dangerous artifact. It takes the form, depending on command, of a large shield, black, with ornate inscriptions on it, with the picture of a shield on the outside. Or, when thrown into water, it becomes a mighty galleon manned by the undead.
Wow.
Most disturbingly, it is reported to have the ability to travel to the lands of the dead.
Whoa.
More immediately and more practically, you can imagine the piracy that can be committed. But equally alarmingly, once you lose control of the ship of the void, it will find the evilest person it can upon a beach, and it will sail there and drift to their feet as this innocent floating shield.
Wow. Oh,
It
that's
always seeks out evil. But Chelbrick does not possess it. If he once possessed it, it is no longer his. For at least the past 3 years, it is being held by another, and that's enough said on that matter.
Okay.
Now, possibly, frighteningly, is there another one? It seems unlikely. It seems extraordinarily unlikely. And nothing I have heard of Chelbrick's abilities suggest that he could create another. Iron takes this in, nods. He says, Chelbrick certainly loves power. He loves a social life, loves finery. As you know, his upbringing would, it's not a surprise that being the case, given his upbringing. His family really is immensely wealthy. It is probably only his race that has kept him from being granted some degree of title in the Elven states.
Right.
He says Iron continues and says that in discussing this matter with Prethnot, Prethnot did admit that their association ended because of his increased interest in travel to so-called dark regions. And Prethnot would not elaborate on that point. And honestly, I don't want to know more. Iron turns to you and says he is a womanizer, as my family learned much to its chagrin. He has slighted my family shamefully, my sister in particular, and I am pointedly in this for revenge. As I told Brise, my mistress will not involve herself until it endangers the city or her own interests. But I have been given leave to gather information from various adventurers and to warn them to keep out of the vetch, so long as I keep my master's name out of it. You should know that I'll be using a number of disguises and so on to hide my own identity while I do this, and I ask that all of you keep my name out of your involvement until I am ready to strike. Fraldrum says, you will not be striking without us. Iron says, I don't require your leave to do anything. Fraldrum says, when it comes to the lives of innocents, you will seek my approval for any of your actions. And if not, then I'm afraid you will have to remove yourself from this situation. Dotrick says, Master, please, this could be left till later. We're nowhere near action anyway. We still need much more information. providing you an opportunity to speak.
Jump in and say,
Attack him!
Yeah.
And that's how
I know where his house is. Let's go. Holds up like pitchforks.
That's right.
I tell them that information such as where one of his residences in Convergence, which I was able to locate and scout out, and do have a spot memorized for us to teleport to if the need arises.
Iron says, indeed.
If the need arises.
Fraldrum says, Iron, if you act too early, we will lose any chance of dealing with this threat. Do you want a pitched battle in the streets of Convergence? Do you want him to summon undead?
I'll also say, I imagine you told us he's a womanizer. He's probably dealt with others seeking vengeance, as you said. Let's make sure your vengeance is
Successful.
actually comes to fruition, right? And doesn't fail like others that must have come before you. Don't let it blind you.
Iron sort of glares at all of you and sits back in his chair and says nothing. Roll for me.
42.
Hard to get a read on him and where he stands on the matter. Well. So, anything else to add?
No, that's the only. It's only been 2 days. It's the only piece of information I believe I got.
Right.
Well,
we know that Fraldrum and Doshrik both have been had to return to their own duties.
Right.
They seemingly haven't had a chance to go and receive reports from other people. Mm-hmm. We also know that the Council of Wizards in this area is not interested in intervening.
Mm-hmm. I have. I was supposed to ask the Trinidos when I stopped in their valley about the ongoing construction, but I didn't get a chance to do that. So that's something I will find out, but nothing to report right now.
All right. Dinner is prepared. And is brought in. The meal is a sullen and thoughtful one. Not much conversation. Mm-hmm. Everyone chewing on their own thoughts. Do you want to mention to Iron seeking the where the timber interests of Chelbrick's family lie within Convergence?
True.
If he could find offices and places like that, then that's another place to sort of stake out.
Yeah. I'll mention that when I was researching his property, the tax office, they mentioned he has lumber interests in town.
And they have been warned,
right,
to keep his name out of things.
Yes.
The whole. Iron says, that is news to me. I had no idea that the family business extended to Convergence. Mm-hmm. He says they must be raising chip groves there.
What if all he wants to do is just have undead workers, like tax-free labor.
Exactly.
That's it. We did all this.
That's right.
Oh my
What's your health care plan? Undeath.
Your contract is unbreakable. For all eternity.
So he says he can certainly do that research, and he'll leave word here.
You know, it reminds you of like Adabir's research into demons. Like, could you use the undead as just workers, right? As like, you know, obviously you don't want them like planting crops, but you know, building.
It's one of the more interesting parts of American history is they actually, like, you know, we all know that slaves were used in agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
But there was actually efforts here and there and studies on the matter looking at using them in industry.
Right.
And it really never, I mean, there were a couple of instances in which it did so. Mm-hmm. Mining, I think, was one. But I think there were studies at the time that showed it simply wasn't profitable. It was more profitable to pay them wages, to pay you know, workers wages. Mm-hmm. And it was more productive and you got more out of them than having forced labor.
That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Why plantations and agriculture
would differ.
Yeah.
And did they differ, or was it just a cultural bias against blacks?
Right.
Where it was, oh well, surely it's more profitable. We don't have to have proof. We know it's more profitable, and so they just, you know. But you can think of the devastating effect it would have had if slavery had caught on in northern industrial interests.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then slavery would have just been uncontested and continued for who knows how many decades. Mm-hmm. I hate to say centuries later, but you know, I mean, that would just be, I mean, it would be just ghastly. You know, would there ever been a civil war? You know, I mean, England outlawed slavery in, I forget, 1840s, 50s, something like that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, imagine us.
Would there be external pressure to like do it? It's hard to imagine.
Right. When you go through and you play all that, forward, it's both interesting and chilling.
Uh-huh.
You're of course welcome. Lady Kieran tells you as your meal comes to a close, you're welcome to spend the night if you'd like. But she understands if you prefer travel, though it's dark. And so everyone makes their own decision, and thus far everyone's leaving. What would you like to do? And then we'll wrap it up right there.
I think I'll stay the night.
Okay.
Then I could just teleport to Trinidas tomorrow morning.
Right. And then, so once you leave yourself a note that we're ending in the evening, we'll still got to do your 3 rolls, of course, in the morning, and then that you do need to check in with the Trinidas regarding the construction of whatever fortification they're building. So, all right. Well, that is a wrap.
Okay.
On oh wait, wrong one.
Huh. Whoa! I didn't know you could do that. Cool.
Yeah, you can put. I can put. Here we go. Yeah, not a peep.
Not a peep.
Yeah, I can put text up or chat up there. So, oh wait, there we go. Oh, weird. It's not working. Weird. Like it's not being replaced.
Oop, you broke it. There we go.
That is really weird. So when I selected so the captions don't have priority over the chat. That's really strange. All right. Well, I'm glad that we had the backup lavalier mic. That seemed to solve some problems for us when we have these inexplicable technical problems. So
streaming is full of pitfalls, audio related pitfalls.
It is. So there we go. So, all right, gang. So thanks once again for joining us. Episode 133 in the books. We're looking like we've got a good 3 more Wednesdays that we're set to go. We've confirmed. And so we hope we'll see you for each of those. So thanks for everything. If you think we're doing a good job, hey, hop to Donor Box and send us a little love. If you want to hear more from Max, and I think you should, then you see he has a YouTube channel there where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Denovitz for their terrific character art that we use almost every episode. If you want to see more of their work, please go to artstation.com/Tortolua. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far. You can find it on Amazon.com. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed writing it. And hey, Max, say goodbye to these lovely people.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching this episode. And yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday for more exciting developments.
That's right. All right. Thank you, guys.